Welcome. This week on The Star Wars Show, we take a look back at 20 years of StarWars.com, rerun the Sphero BB-8 through a Force Awakens obstacle course, and much, much more. Now, from the Lucasfilm headquarters, it's The Star Wars Show.
Hello, I'm Peter Townley.
And I'm Andy Gutierrez. Welcome to The Star Wars Show, a show that... Oh, hold on. We have pop-up ads.
No, where did these... Has Kyle been downloading
It's probably
things
from
again?
all the looking back at the last 20 years of StarWars.com that did it.
The internet used to be so weird.
Here?
You got news.
Woo.
You good?
Yeah, I was just buffering there for a second.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay. This Saturday, November 26th, marks the 20th anniversary of StarWars.com.
And to celebrate, StarWars.com has been looking back at the stories and milestones that made our humble little site the place on the internet for all Star Wars all the time.
That's right. And you absolutely need to read the gigantic oral history on the site that we put up today, featuring stories from the people who were there. In movie news, Emilia Clarke has joined the cast of the Han Solo standalone film.
The Game of Thrones actress joins Donald Glover and Alden Ehrenreich in the film that takes place before the events of the original Star Wars trilogy.
The untitled Han Solo film is due out in 2018.
The new Dr. Aphra series from Marvel may be a week away from hitting shelves, but at the Star Wars Show, we've managed to get our hands on some of the pages from issue 2.
Written by Kieran Gillen with art by Kev Walker and cover by Konami Shirahawa, the story finds Aphra getting her archaeology accreditation revoked by her own father.
Dun dun dun! Dr. Aphra #1 is available next week with issue 2 hitting shelves on December 21st.
In Rogue One news, our channel released a behind-the-scenes look at the making of Rogue One last week.
The featurette offers a closer look at the creatures, characters, sets, and droids featured in Rogue One. You can watch it for yourself after this episode is finished, of course, right here on our channel.
Finally, beginning on November 27th, Force for Change is launching a new campaign called Force for Fashion, a collection of Star Wars-inspired t-shirts designed by Gareth Edwards, some of the cast of Rogue One, and other big-name celebrities.
The shirts, 2 of which we are wearing right now, will be available at Target with $5 of each shirt sold, going directly to UNICEF's Kid Power program.
And for more breaking Star Wars news from across the galaxy, be sure to check out your favorite double-decade-old website, StarWars.com.
The Star Wars Show presents Everything is Important. This week, StarWars.com. Originally launched in 1996 as a way to promote the Star Wars Special Editions, StarWars.com morphed into a behind-the-scenes bonanza with early looks at the making of the prequels, animated series, and was a daily celebration of all things Star Wars. Because without StarWars.com, you wouldn't have had movie trailers that took hours to download on dial-up, 24/7 webcams from the set of Episode 3 that accidentally revealed Anakin's hairdo, blogs, message boards, news about toys, comic books, recipes and crafts, fan features, breaking news about new Star Wars films and television shows, a sassy Twitter and Facebook presence that taught the world about female armor, and live streams of Star Wars Celebration. Because without StarWars.com, 2 former team members wouldn't have later joined the Lucasfilm Story Group. And without the Lucasfilm Story Group, you wouldn't have any new Star Wars. Or this show. Thanks, StarWars.com.
This is Pablo Hidalgo filling in for Andy and Pete. I'm giving them a little break because we're going to be talking about the 20th anniversary of StarWars.com, and this gives me an opportunity to talk to one of my favorite people at Lucasfilm. We've got the head of publicity with us, Lynn Hale.
Aw, thanks, Pablo.
Welcome, Lynn. I first knew you from before I ever started working here.
Yeah.
And I was one of those crazy fans out in the world, loading up StarWars.com, hoping that there would be a new installment of Lynn's diaries on the website.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how all that came about?
George really wanted fans to get an inside look at the creative process, but he didn't want it to be a polished like newscast. He really wanted it to be from the people that were doing it, and he wanted it to be authentic.
StarWars.com only existed because George Lucas had an interest in making it happen. Is that right?
Yeah.
So can you take us back, looking at late 90s, we're about to launch this website. What does that mean to you?
It was one of the most valuable things for PR because it meant that we could get directly to the people that we most cared about. And we could get to them with direct messages. Because it was the first Star Wars film that had been done in a very long time, the rumors were just like rampant on it.
Before long, you actually had fans working on StarWars.com.
Yeah.
Helping to generate the content for that audience. How did you find that relationship working out?
That was the best. I mean, to have people like you, real fans speaking to real fans, not only did you become the voice to the fans, but you look at the job that it's evolved in for you.
I wasn't fishing for that at all, by the way. Now we've got a lot more Star Wars to talk about than we've ever had before. And we even have a studio where we shoot a Star Wars show for the
it's
website.
amazing. Who would have ever thought?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on reflecting at 20 years of StarWars.com?
When I think of StarWars.com, I just think of pure passion. It's just amazing to see how it's grown from this little 2-person, 3-people operation, and we were in the Brook House, and the Brook House was up at Skywalker Ranch, and I remember that your desk was out in the open, and because every single person had Star Wars questions, that you could barely get your work done. So finally, Jeannie, who was in the group at the time, she put a little tip jar and
She
said,
did. That covered my lunch for years.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Lynn. We're all so busy that the only way I get a chance to sit down and talk to you is by actually hosting the Star Wars show. So thanks for coming.
I'm in Wyman Theater, and I says to Mabel, I says,
Special delivery for the Star Wars show.
Wow, thank you, old-timey delivery man.
I wonder what it could be.
Let's check it out. Wow. It's a paid segment from our friends at Sphero.
Pete Hall from Sphero is here, and he set up a little obstacle course for us to drive the Sphero BB-8, and for an additional challenge, we're going to be using the new Force Bands.
Yeah, so our new Force Band lets you drive not only last year's BB-8, but also this new battle-worn version, and a couple key gestures lets you channel your inner force.
Sounds simple enough.
I feel like we could use a little training, though.
Yeah. Cue the training montage.
First, you start on the sands of Jakku, then go up the ramp of the Millennium Falcon and must navigate through the crates and grates. Then, you pass through the doorway of Maz's castle and must choose between the shorter and more difficult path of the stairs or the longer ramp and lightsaber slalom course. Then, you head towards the snow of Starkiller Base and must not fall in as the planet's core is breaking up. Fastest time wins. Andy, your time begins now.
Yeah. Go the fast way. Oh, yes. No, no, no.
Through the door. Through the door, buddy. You're almost, you got it. There we go, down the stairs. Yeah. Here we go. You can do it! Yes!
So you can get all of our Star Wars products at Sphero.com using the promo code Star Wars Show for 20% off. It's good today only, so make sure you check it out.
We should probably get out of here before Starkiller Base explodes.
Yeah, good idea.
You know, I miss that old dial-up noise so much.
Oh, it's been like a visit from an old friend you don't really like to see that much.
Last week, we asked you to share your favorite memories of the past 20 years with us.
Like Stuart Spark, who said, waiting for the first Attack of the Clones trailer to buffer on dial-up. Those 4 hours were worth it.
The Ceramic Cat said, I totally bought a Hyperspace membership just to access the Revenge of the Sith 24/7 live feed cameras. I think I saw you and Spoot once.
Ooh. Jesse Shop loved the episode 2 behind-the-scenes photos, while Mike Gardner loved getting the Hyperspace emails every week as a reward for his membership. And that brings us to this week's question.
With Thanksgiving being tomorrow here in the States, we want to know, what about Star Wars are you most thankful for?
It could be that the movies helped you find a significant other, inspired your career choice, or just provided something for you to do while you were bored.
However you're thankful for Star Wars, we want to hear about it. So send it to us using the hashtag #ThanksStarWars, and we'll feature our favorites here next week.
Finally, be sure to check out another star-studded episode of the Star Wars After Show presented by Verizon, where I gather a panel of Lucasfilm employees who are stars to me to break down all the happenings in this week's episode of the Star Wars Show. Spoilers, it's going to be about the 20th anniversary of the site.
Oh, watch it this Thursday and every Thursday on youtube.com/Verizon.
Thanks for watching, and may the Force be...
Andy?
Goodbye.